3 p.m. Discussion regarding the monument, and I know that a lot of people have been talking about it amongst themselves. It's been quite a hot topic of conversation, and it's not the monument itself, but I had the chance to talk to a few Reidsville residents, and they were African Americans, I'll just go ahead and say that, who did have some pretty strong feelings about the monument and what they feel it represents. And of course, we're getting all sorts of opinions on both sides, on both races, and it's not just African Americans who feel strongly about what they feel it represents, but I just, for the record, I do want to say that I've talked to some other races who don't like what they feel the monument represents. And I've heard a resident say, it has nothing to do with slavery, it has nothing to do with hatred, bigotry of any form, and it's just our heritage. We're proud of our heritage. So I'm sure that we'll get to hear both sides. We've been hearing both sides and getting people's feelings, but very interesting, and I won't say which store it was, but I was here in Reidsville today and stopped in one of my favorite stores, can do some research, read the history, but someone said, and I won't say who that person was, Jessica, did she live during the time of slavery? If people weren't born during that time, even if some people say the monument doesn't represent slavery itself, why should they be offended? So taking all of that in regard, and then I went online on the go how places are changing. So in light of the monument discussion and how we've had discussions about racism and race issues, whether you live in Greensboro, North Carolina, even for our Virginia viewers, because of this discussion lately and because of how people have strong feelings about history, aside all of that, do you feel that places have changed? Do you think that things are changing with the times? Or do you feel that as much as things change, some things stay the same? Now, this report that CNN will be doing is called Defining America. And I don't know if you noticed the pictures that were shown on those chairs, but I'm reading from their website, and you can go online yourself. Each of the people that were killed, November 3rd, 1979 shootings, are represented by a white rose, and it has something to do with the Truth and Reconciliation hearing in 2005. And we'll go back, and if someone knows that history, you can call into it too as well. But again, CNN, they will be doing this special project called Defining America. They want to explore race issues. Greensboro will be featured in this series, but we are discussing race issues even now as we speak, right here in North Carolina and Virginia. So give me a call, 866-498-6262, 349-5594. Speaking of the monument, the gentleman that already had to say, so tomorrow at 3, we will be going to City Hall for the monument discussion. Before we take any more phone calls, let's listen to what this gentleman had to say in regards to the monument accident. We'll take a listen.
Reidsville has not been the same since a van plowed into the Confederate soldier monument that has stood at the roundabout at North Scales and Moorhead Streets for over 100 years. A release from the city of Reidsville states at 4:47 on May 23rd, the monument was struck by a 1999 Chevrolet van driven by Mark Anthony Vincent, 40 of 3905 Hope Valley Lane in Greensboro. Our GPS takes us to here, 3905 Hope Valley Drive in Greensboro, North Carolina. The police report states this is the home of Mark Vincent, the man who crashed into the monument, the man who's caused so much controversy in Reidsville. Is Mark Vincent around? Mark Vincent? Charles Rocket from Star News TV. Star News, we're trying to do a follow-up on the monument situation, and just wonder if we could get just a quick interview with you.
No, I don't want to say no more about that. Huh? I don't want to say anything more about that. I mean, it's already enough going on already.
Right.
I appreciate your time. You have a good evening then.
Okay. That might be the only comment that we can get regarding this situation. We did get a chance to look at the van that was parked right in front of his drive. The report from the city of Reedsville said that the head of the statue was embedded in the hood of the vehicle and it had to be retrieved by city employees. Is Mark Vincent around? Mark Vincent? Charles Workett from Star News TV?
All right, you know, a lot of people were asking or called into the show and asked Mark and even asked me, Charles, how come the gentleman wasn't charged and how did he feel about the accident? So there you go. You asked and we delivered. Anyway, 866-498-6262, 349-5594. Our place is changing. How do you feel? Even as we go into another day tomorrow and the Monument Forum will be held at 3 p.m. at City Hall. Give me your opinion tonight. Good evening, Carlo. Thank you for holding. Go ahead.
Hey, Jessica.
What's up?
I'm taping these shows and y'all get to talking. I got to rewind. You know, these types of tapes going up as gas go up.
Well, I can't help that. I'm sorry.
I'm picking at you, baby. How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing, Mike?
All right, let's talk about Charles. Charles still going down there, man, with a camera. He'd have hit the statue. They had a dog they showed would have killed him. Now they GPS him.
Well, you should have called Charles and asked him why did he go to that man's residence.
Yeah, trying to get that man killed.
Why do you say you tried to get him killed?
Jessica.
What?
Yeah, how upset they are about that statue.
I mean, you know what? I was out today.
I tell you what, you wouldn't want them at your house if you hit that statue. I would not. Me personally, I wouldn't. And with the head of monster and hate going on about that thing there, I hear I parked my cars indoors tonight. They got one guy called Dick Show. Know what he said?
What?
He said he got 100 people together, starting in Patrick County, Franklin County, Pennsylvania County. They're going to get in that truck. They're going to be down there tomorrow around 11. He said 11. He didn't say 11. 11. And they're going to make sure that statue goes back up. If it ain't, it's going to be trouble.
Okay, so let's just put it out there. People know how I like to do. Are you saying that, and I'm saying this because I want people to call in and challenge you or say how they really feel. Are you saying that there have been so many strong feelings about this monument that people are angry, that there are feelings of anger?
Yeah, because they said that we are educated. I like to let them know. I done met some dumb black folks and dumb white folks, but I know this. I read the Bible in Romans. It says in the first chapter, got a couple verses, going to God's anger and sin. It said that there'll come a day where we'll argue over statues of men, birds, reptiles, but yet we won't give honor to God. I'll give my honor to God. That's what I'm leaning on.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Let me ask you this, because as Greensboro, as CNN, they're getting ready to do special coverage on Greensboro and their racial issues. You know, Greensboro had a Truth and Reconciliation Commission where they looked into some KKK slangs back in 1979. But here's my question to prove a point. Do we need some truth and reconciliation forums for people to come together and just put all of their feelings, racial tension, all their issues out on the table and just hear from each other? Okay.
Economics. You know what? There's two ways family works when they get economic struggling. Either they join together or they fall apart. We're going to see where we stand in God's eyes because they fighting over money in the church, the courthouse, the street. I'm fighting over here in my crib because they're stealing my money. And then they done went downtown and bought a building for $650,000. They say ain't worth for $400,000. Nobody want that.
Were you talking about the hotel?
Yeah, so you tell me how can you get a building, sell it on the market for a price that it ain't even worth, get a better price, and then don't even know what you're going to do with it.
Wow.
That's a fool, ain't it? Whether the economic people brought it or the city brought it, somebody foolish, because I would try to get a lower price than it's worth if ain't nobody else bidding on it.
There's money coming from somewhere.
Hey, somebody buying somebody, they ain't gonna put nothing up, they ain't gonna put nothing on Green, they ain't gonna put nothing on Fair Street. The brothers ain't coming to the meeting, they gonna put that statue back up, because them 100 people in that truck come, that's enough people to convince them.
Wow, well, I'm going to be here, so I want to see if what you just said will hold true, and will those 100 people show up tomorrow at 3?
Hey, well, he said that. I'm just repeating him. I think it's a lie, but then again, you know, my truth is always turned around here. They say the end that'll happen too. You'll turn truth into a lie.
I hear you, Mike.
But people will. So tell them read the Bible and get mad at God. It's in Romans, first chapter. Go to God's anger and sin and read the last few chapters in that thing, and it says that we'll fight over these things such as statues, reptiles, and animals because we don't want to praise God.
All right, Mike.
Good evening.
All right, appreciate your call. Someone is saying, Preach Mike. Good evening. Welcome to the show.